Today we are doing a deep dive into a text titled Angel Prayer. And if that title makes you expect a request for a miracle or, some divine intervention to fix a bad Tuesday.
You are going to be very surprised because right off the bat, it's a total bait and switch.
It really is. It is not a request for magic at all. It's actually more of an operating manual for psychological stability.
Yeah, the first line just completely shuts down any supernatural escapism.
Mhm.
It says, if there are guardians of light, let them meet me in clarity.
Not in fantasy.
Not in fantasy, which sets the mission for this entire deep dive right there. The speaker isn't saying, save me. They're explicitly asking for steadiness rather than a rescue.
Right. It frames angels not as fairy godmothers coming to whisk you away, but as symbols of a higher order. It's treating the divine as this framework for logic and coherence. The speaker isn't asking for favors, they're asking to embody that order personally.
Which requires a ton of maturity because it doesn't ask for happiness or wealth.
Sure.
It asks for patience, integrity, courage, restraint. And then it drops its absolute hammer. It asks specifically not to be saved from consequence.
Right. It says, may I ask to learn quickly?
Which is just such an anti-shortcut mindset. I mean, most of us, whether we admit it or not, want to be bailed out of our mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. We just want the mess to go away.
But this text argues that the mess is the data. If you are somehow saved from the result of your actions, you completely lose the lesson.
It's essentially asking for a faster processing speed for failure.
Yeah, rather than a way to avoid failure altogether.
And that demand for maturity extends to how it handles protection, too, because usually when you ask for protection, you mean shielding from external bad guys or just bad luck. But here, the threat is internal.
It lists distortion, hardening, and pride. It's really asking for protection from self-deception.
Guard me from illusion disguised as revelation. That line is critical for anyone interested in self-development.
Because it is so easy to mistake a massive ego trip for a genuine spiritual breakthrough.
So easy. The text asks for a filter for that. The ability to see where you are misaligned without spiraling into shame.
Just see the error, fix the error, correct without shame. And that functionality moves outward as well. It's not just about being holy in a cave by yourself. It asks, may my actions reduce harm? May my presence stabilize rather than destabilize?
That is the ultimate metric for personal accountability. When you walk into a room, do you add chaos or do you reduce it? Are you a grounding force?
And the text actually redefines theological terms to fit this cognitive framework. It swaps out the mystical meanings for highly practical ones.
Like how light becomes awareness and protection becomes discernment.
And the really big one, may grace mean proportion.
That one actually stopped me in my tracks when I read it, because usually we think of grace as this limitless forgiveness or a state of bliss. Proportion feels almost mathematical.
Right, it feels rigid. But I think it's the ultimate reality check. Think about when you're spiraling. Anxiety usually comes from blowing things totally out of proportion.
You inflate a problem.
Exactly. Or you inflate your own importance. You lose the scale of reality.
So grace is simply the ability to see things at their actual size. It's not a catastrophe, just a situation.
Precisely. It's balance.
Mm-hmm.
It's the steadiness the text opened with. And the instructions for maintaining that are dead simple. Act cleanly, speak honestly, love steadily, rest when needed.
It strips away all the mystical clutter to get to the core, which is integrity.
It's using the language of the divine to ask for better reality testing.
And the poem ends on this great note of repair. It says, if I fall short, give me the strength to repair.
It's not asking for a pardon.
No, it's asking for the grit to fix what you broke. So to wrap up our deep dive today, here's a thought to take with you. How would your daily anxiety levels change if you stopped looking for a rescue and instead just asked for the proportion to see the problem clearly and the speed to learn from it?
It certainly changes the way you look at a bad day.
It really does. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.